you think you already believe. There's a reason why I own books written by the number one apologists for Islam or the number one apologist for the comedic science community or whatever else the case may be, because I want to know the best argument against what I want, against what I think I already know. And if my argument stands up against the best opposite argument, then I'm pretty solid in my stance. But that's not what people want to do. People want to be confirmed, and that's why algorithms control your life, because you keep going back to the same well over and over, and then that algorithm strengthens and it strengthens and it strengthens. Google, look up videos about catching goldfish. Eventually, you're gonna end up with videos about catching great white sharks, because that's the way the algorithm works. And most of the people that I know that's spewing and talking and thinking they're so bright, they only repeating what's done through their filter chamber that's in their digital echo chamber, because the algorithm is controlling what you see and what you hear. That's why I read a lot. That's why my library is big, and it doesn't all come from the same type of material. That's why I'm so strong in what I do believe, because I've seen the opposing best arguments. People are afraid of that.
No, that's facts. And I was just about to say the same thing. I look at people that I go against or that have different different views than what I have. And I will really look at their arguments, because I want to know why you think the way you're doing. I mean, you're thinking. I want to know what's supporting your stance. And see, the problem is, what happened to, like, we done went away from scholars. You get what I'm saying? You used to have to be a scholar or be verified by scholarly sources. You get what I'm saying? So, like, when I look at Kanye, his interview with Piers Morgan, so they're like, what do you have supporting your stuff against George Floyd? Oh, well, did you see Candice documentary? And then Pierce says, oh, well, the coroner said it. Oh, he could be bought off. When you go that route, I'm like, dude, you're a cornball. You're a cornball. So now you're going to respond to a scholarly source with a theory. And that's no different than these internet niggas. And that's why I get tired of it. You get what I'm saying? Because these the cats that's in society. These the cats that's out here. That's who people being validated by. Or he could be bought off type niggas. And that's what make you think you right. And that's what's dangerous. And that's what feeds these people clout out here. And that's why society.
In the history of the United States justice system, from 1775 up until 2022, can somebody tell me a time where the justice system was bought on behalf of a black man with a criminal record? Can somebody tell me? Somebody explain that to me? I mean, I need some examples. Now, we know there are thousands of examples of the opposite. We know that. We know about being railroaded and people being thrown in jail innocently and all these things, and criminalizing activity so that they can up the criminal, the numbers and all that stuff. But can somebody tell me when the American justice system has been bought off from its inception to now to work for a black man with a criminal record against law enforcement? That makes no sense at all.
No, it hasn't. It rarely goes that way. Like, I saw Sam DuBose. He was murdered in 2015 by a cop just for a traffic stop driving on. Or we saw the Fernando. I mean, Castile. So they went out their way to make, not even punish certain cops. So the one case that's a slam dunk, now we gonna put our tinfoil hat on with that one. And that's the part that kills me.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Know what I'm saying? The one that's on camera, now it's, oh, well, he prayed 8 minutes before he went. They said they wanted a tall black guy. So that we just gonna pick this random guy to explain. That's how people's mind is gonna think.
That's just like you walking down the street, Troy, and like you just, I don't know, you just doing what you got to do. I mean, I'm just saying, nobody, like, any person just deserves to get harassed, bro. Like, that's ridiculous, bro.
What I'm just saying is that's the dangerous part with this rhetoric and what us trying to justify people like Candice on, who's just a troll. Like, the sad part is these people are making money off of this, and they're being exploited. I'm exploiting pretty
She
much
worse than Kanye, in my
our,
opinion, because she know. I
but
think
they're
she worse.
exploiting our feelings. The crazy part was this chick isn't even a scholar. They just got
Right.
a sort of, cute looking. I ain't no hater. She's, she's,
Right.
Exactly.
She good looking for sure.
you know,
Yeah, she
but
good
Exactly.
looking.
they tried it with Stacey Dash.
She
You
wasn't
get what I'm
smart enough.
saying? She wasn't
Yeah,
smart.
she was dumb as a box of rocks.
Stacey Dash is not smart though. And then she was, she getting over the hill. Not disrespectful, she still look good to me. But,
Oh yeah.
had to get a young black woman, because if she's saying it, now you can't call it white supremacy. You can't say it's racist if she's going to just come out here and spill it. The same black woman who
Right. Right.
that's funny how it happens. And so now they're trying to get these young black conservatives to spit this BS, because remember they tried it with the Diamond and Silk chicks too. And then, they said something and they cut them off. Candice will be around until she's probably hit about 40, get over the hill, and then they're going to cut her off. No different than what they did. Remember, what's that other chick we used to see? Tommy Warren. Then Tommy went out, was like, no, I don't want my body being messed with. They cut her off quick. So they going to keep feeding you and keep you in the spotlight.
Yeah, people like right. You pick the spotlight, it might cut you that same spotlight to cut you down too.
Yeah, man. All it's gonna take is Candice to say one thing. Candice will probably go get her money. She go get tired of being, tired of finessing people, and she gonna be like, no, she gonna say one time, well, black people need this, and they're gonna be like, oh, cut her off.
Exactly.
They gonna expose her. I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times, man.
Yeah, she crazy.
Like,
This stuff is crazy. What kills me is that we're so enamored with these talking heads that you're not gonna address Dr. Tommy J. Curry. You're not gonna address Dr. Jamar Tisby. You're not gonna address Dr. Kimberly Crenshaw. You're not gonna address Dr. Carol Anderson or like Michelle Alexander. Like, you're not gonna address the
Okay.
people who's put in time and effort, and like, you're not gonna address Ibram Kendi. You're gonna address the rapper. That's who we addressing, dog. We're not gonna address the
Right,
people
man.
who
You
put in the work,
perfect point,
who
bro.
giving you historical survey, who giving you detailed research into something. You're
Hey,
just gonna go random cat
to
who just
piggyback on that, Deon.
yes. That's the death. That's the death of the expert. Because I had a
Remember when she?
boy
Oh, go ahead,
arguing
go
with
ahead,
me
go ahead. My
about
bad,
war
Deon.
while I was at war. That's how goofy we are.
Damn. Hey, remember Candace Owens had she had came on there with Killer Mike and T.I. and remember that
Yeah,
show, and then what's the dude named Johnson with the I forgot his
yeah. I
name. He
remember
on
that.
BET. But like
I
why
remember
he, like you said,
that.
why they ain't had other people on there? Why they have like, I ain't
They
saying
don't
rappers
want
don't
them
love
on
that,
there.
but
They don't want them on there.
yeah.
You don't want to sit next to somebody who you're so inferior to on this particular topic.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna
Cause
tell
I
you
ain't
what
gonna lie,
I'm,
they be letting Candace get at them. I'm like, they need somebody else on there.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I do. If I'm in a room with a bunch of people who understand like engines and car stuff, that ain't my thing. You know what I do? I be quiet and I listen.
Right.
I don't keep on talking
Exactly.
like I know what I'm talking about. When you in my wheelhouse, I talk to you all day. But I'm like, you gotta know your limitations. None of us know everything, right?
Right.
But if I'm afraid to, I'm gonna give you an example, right? I was in I was in I was in Afghanistan in 2011, 2012, right? One of my homeboys put up uh one of my homeboys put up that President Obama had taken away um hot meals from the soldiers, right? And I inboxed him. I said, take that down because I'm in Afghanistan. I've been out here for 8 months and we have 4 hot meals. He's actually added a meal. You got that from a right wing website that's giving you misinformation. This fool was debating with me. I'm like, no, listen, my guy. You're in Michigan. I'm in the Hindu Kush Mountains right now. I'm trying to tell you that we have 4 hot meals. That's bad information. Well, you ain't all over the country. You're not in the country at all. You're arguing with me to maintain the point instead of just saying, my bad, I was incorrect. All I got to do is delete it and say, yo, that was a bad post. How hard is that? How hard is it to do? I remember I put up a post about a quote, and I did this. I only jumped out the window one time. I'll never do it again. They said Terrence Howard has said something crazy about black women. Turns out he didn't say it. I deleted that mug, but I also wrote that, hey, that last post I was a little bit too quick, and it was bad information. So what I decided was I'll never jump out the window again. I'm gonna walk down the stairs and walk out the front door so that I take my time.
Yeah, the thing too, and I totally agree. And like I
Yeah,
said,
bro. T.I. goofy too, man.
no,
Y'all boy. Hey, I'm with you,
Dog, he
bro.
thought he knew it all.
I'm with
Candice,
you,
he
bro. I
thought
saw it. Yeah,
Candice
understand.
buried
Yeah,
him, dog. I'm like, you
yeah,
got
T.I.
killed,
goofy too.
dog. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's a fact. I'm with you. I'm with you on it.
nah. The problem is, man, these cats, they want to. They're putting themselves in rooms, discussions they shouldn't be in, all because of celebrity. Like I even commend Ice Cube for what he did. Like he spoke about that contract for Black America, but he actually started getting with economists and people that actually knew how to construct his contract into something actually feasible and executable. I mean, or something that can be executed. And so it wasn't him out here. All right, Ice Cube, Ice Cube, Ice Cube is that. Not in like that they was putting him on all these, interviews, but he made sure to give the people their credit. Dark Hamilton. Dark Hamilton worked on a paper with Sandy Darity and all these other people on the racial wealth gap. See, that's what it all comes down to. People not looking at actually how to combat this stuff. It's been a lot of people that have made money on talking about the problem. And the part that annoys me, like I said, you look at Boys in the Hood, furious discussion he had about that was over 30 years ago. And we still in these same conditions. And people want to keep talking about the diagnosis, and no one is out here actually trying to treat it. And I'm out of it. I'm to the point, man. I don't want to see another black person go on TV and talk about these problems. Unless you're really about to
go do something
and do something. I'm tired of talking.
Yeah,
Unless you're doing
they
something to fix this
when
stuff, I want to
you
hear it.
remember when I hit you up, Troy, about addressing like restitution more recently as like the descendants of the World War II veterans.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and a lot of black families don't even understand that built the middle class in America. The post-war GI Bill, which included education, it included housing, it included all types of things. That built the middle. There was no middle class in America pretty much before that. There was rich people and poor people. So if 1.5 million black veterans were denied access to that, and the average household was 3 kids at the time, you multiply 1.5 million times three. You see what I'm saying? That's how many millions of families were denied access. And when we talk about things that are tangible and they're within our grasp, you can actually start working. You can actually start working backwards, especially in the time period where everybody so-called stand behind the troops and great generation and all that stuff. Nobody's thrown this in their face, man. Nobody's thrown that back. I don't know any major platform that's actually directly addressed that. And I think that's crazy. Like I wish that I had access to some people who got some, you know, some followers or something, because I'd be able to be like, yo, you need to talk about this more, push this narrative, because this is the time to do it. Because you would look crazy. You would actually look real crazy because everybody could be like, well, I didn't participate in slavery, and that's a long time ago. You actually look crazy right now. It's something where you can hold a gun to the head in a metaphorical sense to be like, yo, we'll fix this. How about fixing that?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to. The thing is, like I say, everyone wants to debate, man. I'm over all these debates. You know, Dr. Ben had his debate back in the day. I done watch Francis Cresswell seen debate. I done seen all these debates over the years. You know what I'm saying? I sort of came into watching the conscious stuff when I was 25. And it's 8 years later, and I'm seeing a lot of these cats in the same position talking about the same talking points. And all they done did was get bigger profiles and make money off speeches. I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, you know, Brother Polite, all these cats who ain't talking about the problem. Jay Morrison, you didn't finesse 15 million, not the people
Okay,
talking
Morrison.
about
Yeah.
the problem.
What about Charleston White, man?
Man, he just another dude who just wants to talk. Unless you want to do something, you know, he's talking about he doing stuff with with Tukaville and all that. Only thing I will give Charleston White credit for is, yes, this whole standing on the gang culture and wearing it with a badge of honor, that part is corny. I don't want to free
Yeah,
no
because he used
cat
to be
that.
a crip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to free nobody that murdered people and was a menace to society. Now, whether we do know we are products of our environment, and some of that stuff comes from, you know, it all leads back to white supremacy. Okay, I know that, but I'm not about to condone people that's out there murdering people, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
shooting people up. That's
So how
what's
many times they say free? How many
away
times
from.
you hear people say free this person, free that person? It's like I get it, but
Yeah. This my thing. Now I haven't looked into it, but he's claimed he's been on, stuff that changed laws and youth game and cognitive intervention programs and all that stuff. And if that's true, then that's a tangible thing. I think that the way he's going about doing things at times, that the thing that's gonna stand out the most is how ignorant you are when you decide to talk. But when he speaks soberly and it's not all of that, he did a thing where he said the reason why he said F Nipsey Hussle is because he knew who Aramis is. That's Nipsey's real name, right? So when he did a whole speech on that. Like, yo, man, he said, man, I don't care about Nipsey Hussle, I care about the man. He was like, Nipsey Hussle said when he was 11, he was at Aramis said when he was 11 years old that he was going to buy the community and help his community. He said, that's who I care about. I don't care about these rapper characters. But the fact that you go so hard in the ignorant lane, ain't nobody gonna see that, dog. And that what happens is you get so deep into the trolling that your actual intention gets missed. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you. Yeah,
And,
and that's
and,
what
that, and now you defeat your own purpose of what you say that you're doing this for, which is why I can't post you because I don't want to you can't get no stink on me. I'm not going to repost you
I know what you
because
mean.
somebody going to repost you telling T.I. you're going to shoot his son in the throat. Like, nah, I can't roll with that.
Dang, yeah, it'd be like you support one thing. It's like basically if you post Candice Owens or something, one thing like we do agree with a little bit. Like she might say one thing we agree with, but I feel like you condone everything if you post if you support. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you condone everything. Just turn her endorsing her period if you do that.
Right.
yeah, that's
I'm
where
a
it
big,
goes.
I'm a big proponent of what you, what you repost, you support, even if you meant it to call attention to something. Because mother chickens
Okay.
don't read well anymore anyway.
Hmm.
What you think about this point, Deon? My boy said, speaking the language of the people is how to connect. So is he connecting with us when he does that ignorant talk, or is it buffoonery?
Man,
Which
listen, I,
Man, I
I
can't lie.
lived, I
He
lived,
is funny though. I can't lie
I
though.
lived in all of the neighborhoods in Detroit: East Warren and Outer Drive, Chandler Park, Dexter and Davidson, Linwood, Linden, Grand River and Greenfield. I lived in every neighborhood all the way to Dangon Telegraph, right? And include Rollo Township. The average person don't walk around calling people's children the P word and telling these they're gonna shoot them in the face. And that's not the average human. That's not the average black person. So that's not the voice of the people. The average black person is going to work trying to figure out how to get to the next day and
Mm.
survive. So you're right. The hip hop culture has turned into buffoonery, and I'm good with him pulling back the covers on that. I'm saying that I agree with a lot of his talking points regarding hip hop culture, and I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it because he said I ain't got no victims. He said, you know, Game got victims, Ti got victims, Boosie got victims. I ain't got no victims. I understand all that, but I'm talking about when you go way, way, way outside the average person. Don't talk like that. So that's not actually the language of the community, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And not only I done lived in all over Detroit. I done been in Georgia, all in the neighborhoods and all that stuff. I moved out of Detroit in 2002. So I just think that um, yes, working daily to take care of your family, yeah, that's a fact. And we gotta we that's
Yeah.
why that's what we gotta that's gotta be the thing. Because I think that revolution and evolution starts in your house. Old
And you
people
hit,
used to say
yeah,
charity starts at home, right?
you
So
hit, yeah,
you you're a black man and you take care of your wife and you take care of your children and you're raising them with a standard, then you're starting a mini evolution, revolution, and ascension in your home. And that's where we got to start. That's a fact. Because the more kids we got out here that are confident, educated, intelligent, have opportunities, the better our community will be.
man. See, you just hit it on the head. I hope you was recording, right? Because the thing is, man,
Yeah, I am.
that's what it comes down to. Like the revolution, and that's what I want to go. It really just tied my point in I was saying earlier. No revolution is going to start or happen in the media. You got to take the step before to get to that. And that's why what are you doing for your home? What are you doing for your children to make sure that they're growing and they're going to carry that baton and they're going to set that standard? What standard are you setting for? I make sure my children are going to be the type of people that I want them to be in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And one, if I'm talking about wealth, I have to make sure I set them up with wealth. So I'm not coming, hey, Jewish media, y'all been taking from my people for years. Y'all need to give us $1 billion or whatever they owe us, $50 billion. Nah, it starts at home with we making sure my children are getting and that they're gonna have something, whether them people give it to us or not.